All right, Aries, let's go ahead and do our bonus. I said I would do a bonus because you guys were my most viewed video last, and then we'll do a Capricorn one. I don't know when we'll get to it, but I felt Aries immediately. So in this bonus, I want to talk about that there is a person who it seems like they learn a lot from you, unless it's reversed. Aries are cross watcher. They learn a whole hell of a lot from you. They take notes. It's almost like taking notes. They take consideration of what you say, what you want, what you think, your perspectives, your theories, your whatever it is, whatever you say. It's something that you say. And it is. I think it's something you say. I'm like certain of that. It feels very comfortable to say that. Okay, that's it. Whatever you say, they can tell that you're dead set on it. You know what you're talking about. It's something. It's one particular thing. However, it's not perfect for them. It's not ideal for them. Like, I don't know what it is that you've said, but to them, it's like, damn. Or like, I don't know. They love what they hear. They do. It makes sense to them. It's actually quite, like wise. They could see you as wise, but it's like, damn. You know? Well, that means for me, it's not, it's like good news that you have reached this level in your life, but bad news for them because whatever it is that you've said or that you stand by, I don't know, it's just, oh, by the way, I have my curtain open, so you're probably going to see all this light on me, which is interesting. You've provided some sort of clarity to somebody because it's right there on my throat chakra. Look at that. I didn't even notice that till just now, so it felt a little warm. And so you have opened someone up by something you've said in a way that you see things to where they see it too, and it makes complete sense to them. It's something it's like, but it sucks at the same time because just because something is being made clear or it opens the way, you know, it's helpful, it doesn't mean it didn't hurt to hear. You know what I mean? Maybe it was just somebody wanted to know where you stood on something and you let it be known, even if you didn't know you were, like you just did it anyway by being yourself or something. And they're like, oh, well, now I know, you know? Now I know the answer. That's it. Now I know the answer. I got the answer, but it's not necessarily the answer that I wanted, you know? But I respect it. Something like that. Now, let's tweak it a little. This could also be that somebody knows that you have found out something because of something you've said or will say. This hasn't happened yet by the time I'm recording this, but here in the near future, they may know that you know something by a way that you speak or something you say or a way you express yourself or something like that. Or because you don't, maybe you just quit talking and they can tell. You know, when you get quiet, people are like, what's wrong? They know. I don't know. It could also go that way, but anyway. I think someone here absolutely loves your take on life. They love your take on something. They can see why you see something that way or why you... It just makes sense. Should I title it that? It makes sense. It just... I mean, it makes sense. Makes sense. It makes sense. There's something in there, but I can't get it out. It's like they're trying to give me another word through makes sense. So you say it fast together, so maybe you get a word, but like makes sense, makes sense, makes sense, makes sense, makes sense, makes sense. I don't know. They understand. At first they had a hard time understanding where you were coming from or your take or your view on things or something like that. But they get it now. They get it. They get it in the way that you're describing it. They understand. Maybe they feel like they understand you better because of you're starting to open up. You're starting to explain things. Maybe you don't open up for long though, or you shut it off quickly because, see, it's starting to go away. I mean, it's still there, but I'll say this. I feel like this is someone who one, they wouldn't be able to lie to you. Two, if they are dead set on something, like they see something only one way, you would definitely blow that fucking out of the water, because I'm gonna give just the first thing popping in my head. Okay, I'm starting to get tired. I feel it. I mean, this is a lot of energy all day, but I feel really good today. Let's say somebody had a view of you, honey, and I'm definitely going to say it like that because that's how I'm getting it. So they had a view of you. Man, I don't give a fuck what it is. That's how much I don't care. I don't give a fuck, right? I don't care. And nor do you. Right? So they had an idea, view of you, and maybe a couple of people, but they didn't know why you are the way you are. Maybe they're mad because you cut them off, or you cut people off with it. Maybe it's a family member, or an extended family member, or an in-law or something. I don't fucking know. But they may have had a view and a thought of you, and they're wrong. And they're going to see that they're wrong when they find out why you are the way you are, why you cut a bitch off, why you've cut everybody off or some shit. Because once you give an explanation, or once you reveal something, it's going to tell this person, oh, that makes perfect fucking sense. Oh God, isn't that a movie scene? I'm seeing it, but it's like not completely coming through. It's like, why didn't you? The Wizard of Oz, right? Is it The Wizard of Oz where the wizard comes out from behind this the curtain at the end of the movie, and he's talking to one of the, I don't know if he's talking to the lion or the cowardly, he's talking to the Tin Man, I think, and he goes, we get that reference a lot, and he goes, well, why didn't you just say that? It's like, are you fucking kidding me? Now, that's just an example. That doesn't have to be anybody's actual story, but it is the first one that popped in my head. But it'd be like if you had some sort of traumatic sexual event happen to you, and someone later on is like, well, why didn't you just say that? And it's like, really? Apparently you've never had anything like that happen to you, huh? Oh, it's just easy to just, what, and just tell you, like. But they get it now. Whatever this is, the message is not about any of that bullshit. It's about somebody gets you now. They get why you are the way you are. If you're explaining, it's like you're explaining something. I don't know if it's directly to this person or indirectly or something, or they just, like, you know what you're talking about. You're not just saying things to say it. You know what you're fucking talking about, and you have experience to back it, to prove why you stand on what you stand on, why you believe the way that you believe, why you live your life the way that you live your life. It's something like that. They can tell. It makes sense. I've said it a million times, but so it's like they take this information and then they go back and they think about it, right? Like they go back and it almost makes them feel a little bit distant to somebody else. Like maybe somebody wants them to come back and talk to them about what they've discovered about you, and or something. Maybe it has nothing to do with you, but they just are like, they can tell something's wrong with this person. Well, what's wrong is that now they're seeing shit from the way you've seen it. And now this person, it's like they're starting to kind of change their perspective. And in that, it's breaking their heart. Like it's hurting them. It actually is. It's hurting this person. I mean, thank God for people like this. Truly, thank God. Because at least they heard you. I could cry. I feel very emotional right now out of nowhere. I feel like this is someone who finally heard you. They hear you. And you don't even know, but they do. You don't even know this has happened. It's like behind the scenes or something. And so they go home or wherever the fuck they go, and they're around somebody, or somebody, like maybe they're not texting back, or they're not answering the phone, or they're quiet when they're around somebody, or they're just distant. And it's because they're in thought about you and what they're thinking about and your truth, and just the fact that you even came to the conclusions you've came to in life. It hurts them because they know that you must have been through a lot of pain or something to be this way, or to come to these conclusions, or to act this way now or something, you know. They're not saying you're wrong. They actually get it. I think this is someone who does understand, and they almost, like, this sounds shitty, but they feel for you. They have a heart for you now, and they can see why you demand more out of life. They're actually, this, I would say this is someone who's probably on your side now. After getting to know where you are at in life mentally now. But they're not doing this. I mean, maybe they are doing it directly, like someone you talk to. But I feel like this feels very indirect, like they've done it behind the scenes or something. This would be like, you know, you ever seen that movie Child of Rage? It's a very fucked up movie. It's based on a true story of a beautiful little precious baby girl who had a brother, and they were adopted. And I'm not going to ruin it. I honestly don't want to get into it because I'm fucking tired and I don't have the energy for it. But you should watch the movie Child of Rage. And then, I think it's free actually on YouTube. Don't hold me on that. It was at one point. And the girl is still alive to this day. Her name is Beth, and I think she's like a motivational speaker. But if you watch this girl's actual, like not the movie, but her real life interview when she was a little girl, you could tell there was so much trauma in this little girl. The fact that this family took her in and loved her and didn't even give up on her because she went through some shit, man. Like, she's completely different now than when she was younger. She was over sexual. She was very aggressive. She was violent even. Duh! The bitch had so much fucking trauma, but nobody was trying to fucking do anything about it. They just wanted to get rid of her. You know what I'm saying? I can get real fucking passionate about that. Real fucking passionate. And then this bitch, like, let me tell you how much of a warrior she is. She could have killed herself. You know how many people do? You know how many people want to and try and don't succeed? Have you ever done it? Tried? I'm not, this isn't about, oh, we gotta protect not talking about things. That's not me. Why? We have to be open here. If they demonetize me, they fucking demonetize me. I used to do all that shit. I'm not doing it anymore. That's for some people, not for me. I can't, if I have to be authentic here, then I have to be an Aries. That's what I am. This is also me not angry. I just have a heart for this person, right? So this poor girl, it's not a movie. I mean, it was a movie was based off of it, but this is a real girl's life and her brother. And this really happened to her. And this happens all around the world, but it's just an expression here and just kind of what I'm getting. She's much more understood in life now that people, she explains her story and people hear her now. And she comes from a calmer place, but that doesn't mean she's always calm. She probably has the moments of wanting to punch a fucking wall. I mean, there's probably a lifetime of therapy for this girl. Same, you know what I mean? But it's okay. It's fucking okay. It's okay. And she does have people that they genuinely care for her and they never gave up. That is big here. It's like somebody seeing why you have been the way you've been. It's starting to make sense now. And maybe even they're feeling like a dick themselves, especially if they came to their own conclusions about you, but it was fucking wrong. Or they joined in on the bandwagon and on like a hate train on you or something. They're starting to feel bad about it, which is nice. Not that they feel bad, but it's nice that they are starting to see. That's all we could ever ask for from somebody. I feel like crying. Out of nowhere. I'm hearing Ryan. Crying, Ryan, crying, Ryan. They feel for you. And they know why. And in fact, it's making them want to distance themselves, at least even emotionally, from the people that they have been involved with, because especially if these people knew you and they were on some sort of like hate train towards you, I don't know. But because they're starting to see these people are fucking, they have nasty hearts. They have really ugly, ugly, cruel, evil hearts. And you're actually genuine. You're not what everyone's painted you to be. You're actually kind and forgiving and understanding of people because you want that in return. Just because we're strict or we're strong or we're blunt or sometimes we can talk with a tone or we cuss a lot doesn't mean that we're a bitch or an asshole or bad people. We would jump in front of a child any day whom's getting harmed. We would definitely show up for people who didn't fucking show up for us. We would show up for other people because we wished we had someone do it for us. You would take a fucking bullet for innocent people. But you're the bad guy. You're so bad. Now, I'm not saying you're perfect. I'm not saying you're innocent. But you wear those wounds all day long. Just like the Beth lady, you talk about it. It doesn't erase it. It can be embarrassing. It's hard to constantly relive, but at the same time, you know what I mean? It gets a little bit better every time. It does. Annoying a little even, because you're tired of it, you know? You almost want to live a different life. Can I just go ahead and leave this earth already and then come back in a whole new existence, or just not come back at all, preferably? But then again, you don't want to do that, especially if you're a parent, because you're like, oh, I can't leave them, you know what I mean? I mean, you wouldn't kill yourself, but you're like, I'm done now. I'm done. This is great. Now, don't do it to me again. Don't let me, you know what I mean? But then you are humble as well, and you realize that people on this earth have it 10 times worse than you've ever had it, and you had it pretty fucking bad. So imagine, though, imagine. And that's probably helped you out a lot in life, Aries or Crosswatcher, knowing that people have it worse in this planet. That if they can do it, you can fucking do it. Somebody somewhere always has it 10 times worse than us, right? Always. You wouldn't imagine. You ever read the book called A Child Called It by Dave Pelzer? He's still alive, I believe. Don't hold me on that, but I'm pretty sure he's still alive. He wrote 3 or 4 books, maybe more, and became a father himself. I mean, the fact that these people can still go on is incredible. So that just makes what I've gone through and what you've gone through and what anybody else goes through seem like, oh, I got this. Even if I don't want to, even if I'm like, I'm tired of this bullshit. You know what I mean? Of course you are. It's pretty fucked up, and it's kind of shitty and not fair. But, you know, what are we gonna do? Imagine what they fucking went through. It's awful. I mean, it's really awful. Genuinely. I don't think these people understand, like, how much they've even, like, saved my life. Dave and that Beth lady. I would love to reach out to them and be like, you know how many times that you've saved my life? Reading and hearing about your story. And the fact that you've been able to share that and come through that, even though you know people are judging you. You know they are. But they keep going. You know what I mean? And they had it way fucking worse. And it's just like, all right, you got this. You know what I mean? Somebody's seeing that now in you. Whereas before, it's possible for some of them, they might have been against you. Had their own little ideas and talked a lot of shit about you. And now, this person feels. They feel the weight of their judgments on their head now. Maybe even a bit guilty. It depends on who they are and what they, you know what I mean? It depends. But I do feel like you may even, maybe even in you standing in your truth, it inspires them to want to stand in their own and realize that they've been kind of turning a blind eye to some shit that is not okay. Yet judging you. It's nice. I like it. It's nice that somebody, you know, at least they're starting to see. That's all you ever wanted, or, you know, that's all anybody could ask for. At least they hear you now. Somebody does. Even if it's just one, that's all that matters. You got one person here that's starting to hear you. And they are, it's almost like they're switching teams. Like, this is when society be like, they're a switcher. Well, they're switching for the right reasons because they were on the wrong fucking team before. Now they're starting to realize who's real. Alright guys, thank you for being here with me, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.